Hey, John, how you doing today?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
I'm just enjoying life and talking with veterans, and man, I just really enjoy this kind of thing. So I'm doing great. So
That's awesome.
right on. Hey, so currently we're having a 30 vets in 30 days, and this is my 13th episode. Lucky 13, right?
Yep.
And it's not even Friday. It's only Wednesday. There we go, right? But I'm talking with John, and this is my first episode talking with transition Army member. There we go. Everyone else been Navy, Marines, Air Force. Now we got the Army. There we go, right? So my personal goal is try to put a person behind a picture of a transition military member on LinkedIn. I think that is important. I think it is helpful for both people, okay? Or helpful for an employer or recruiter to find out who is John. I probably should ask you how you say your last name, but I didn't ask you. How do you say your last name?
Baldera.
There we go. So it kind of looks like the way it looks. Okay. Okay. Just want to make sure. I don't like making some of those mistakes sometimes.
It's all okay.
Awesome. So a little bit of info about myself. Retired from the Navy as a chief back in November of 19. I was stationed in Augusta, Georgia. I moved from there to Denver, Colorado in January of 20. And I work at Lockheed Martin Space as an ISSO. And I think you understand probably what an ISSO is with your background knowledge.
Yep.
Awesome. But this episode is not about me. It's about the transition to military member. And that's John. Who is John?
So I'm John. I grew up in New York City, and then I joined the Army right out of high school at 18. That
Wow.
puts me at 7 years in the military right now. I will be at 8 at the end of my service. Um, I will be transitioning out in April of next year and ready for a skill bridge in January. Um, I got a great command that's supporting me on my transition, so I'm really proud that I have some people on my side that's trying to help me navigate this ambiguous time through my life.
That is fabulous. We're going to talk about skill bridge a few questions later, but I'm really excited to hear you able to take an opportunity in that. That's freaking amazing. So you told me how long you've been in, and you said your last month was April, so that's about 10 months out right now.
Yep, 10 months.
Okay, okay. No stressors, no worries, right?
All the stressors, all the worries.
Right on. We'll get that one a little bit as well. So your time in the military, and you had a chance to take advantage of any education or any type of certification courses or anything in your job field?
So interesting story. I actually wanted to exit out of the military after my first contract, and after some senior enlisted members talked to me, I realized I hadn't done much in that 3 years that I was first enlisted in. So I made it my goal to pursue education and make sure that I prepare myself as best for my transition. Um,
Wow, that's awesome.
because yeah, I was in a this happened on my second deployment in Turkey and Jordan in the Middle East, and I was like, I really want to make sure that I'm okay. So I finished my bachelor's degree last year in information technology, and I'm continuing that stride, and I'm starting my computer science master's degree at Georgia Tech now in August. So
Impressive. That is freaking awesome, man. I'm really excited for you. Did you obtain any certifications at all?
yeah, so I recently just completed the Azure Administrator
Okay.
certification. Yeah, I've started learning about the cloud, and I've been loving it. I think the cloud just lets you do so much with just one internet connection, right? Lets you to connect to all this infrastructure, and it lets me play around without having to buy all those good cool stuff myself.
Nice, nice. That's always awesome to be able to utilize things that are right there readily available for you. And hopefully it didn't cost you too much to get involved with some of this stuff.
No, I was able to use Microsoft had an event that they called Microsoft Ignite,
Oh,
and
wow.
they were offering a free certification voucher to anyone that completed their training program.
Oh,
So I
cool.
saw it as I saw it as an opportunity to jump in, and I was like, hey, let me do this. I got my voucher. I studied a little bit more, and I got it. So yeah, I was always keeping my eyes open for opportunities, and I happened to land on that one.
That is awesome, man. I think sometimes you see an opportunity, you got to take it and grab it because you're not sure if it's still going to be there when you come back to look at it later, kind of thing. So, well, and I never even heard of that opportunity. That's awesome, man. Really cool. Yeah,
Yeah,
you have any other certifications?
so I did get Security Plus and
Okay,
Network Plus,
nice.
and yep, and then I ended up getting my Six Sigma black belt through some training that we did at my unit, and tested on that. And then right now I'm also working towards the Azure Developer certification. So
Wow.
Microsoft also has this program, and I think it's still active. If you've been affected by the coronavirus at all, you can. They will give you. They will sell you a voucher for $15. Um,
I need to sign up for that. After this video, I'm gonna write that down. Thanks.
yeah. So if you go and you find a Microsoft certification that you really like, they have a list of them that's eligible. It's only $15. So it's a and they have great training
That's
on their
absolutely a
website.
steal. You know what? After this video, we're gonna talk more about that one. That's awesome. Actually, do you remember the name of the website or how you go about trying to find this?
So it's Microsoft. It's on the Microsoft's website. I don't have the exact. I'm
Okay.
pretty sure if you look
Okay.
up Microsoft certification coronavirus, it'll pop up.
Okay.
But I also, if you if you go to this certifications page, they'll have a little block that says if you've been affected by coronavirus, we're giving vouchers for $15. So if you just find
Wow.
a certification that you're trying to go for, you'll probably find it on that same webpage.
That sounds awesome. I'm connected with a really, really awesome lady named Lupe, and she's one of the MSSA coordinators for people to join the MSSA program. And they're all about doing the Microsoft certification. So that could be an idea for you later on for SkillBridge if you want. But awesome. So I'm gonna say obviously you're involved in IT. You have a bachelor of science in IT. You got some IT certifications. So in normal language, what do you do in the army?
So now in the army, I am assisting other countries in designing their intelligence architecture.
Wow.
So yeah, I'm working. I'm getting to open my mind and start trying to learn systems and see how things communicate on a broader spectrum. Earlier in my career, I was in there plugging away in routers, switches, help desk, uh, satellites. I've done a little bit of everything, and now I get to be a little bit more of a big picture thinker and try to streamline the communications of other countries. Um,
Wow.
yeah, right now we're in charge of Latin America, so we're dealing with Colombians at the moment.
Oh, awesome. Right on. Awesome. So are you trying to do the same type of job after the army, or are you trying to do something different, like out in the completely opposite?
Yeah, I think I'm just fascinated by technology right now. I think I haven't really found um, the role that I resonate with me. I've looked at architecture roles. I've looked at the DevOps scene. I've also just looked at coding and being a developer. Um, so I know that working towards the cloud right now is things that's gonna help me get there because the
Sure.
cloud is huge in all those
Yep.
aspects
Big cloud. I just kidding.
everywhere.
Awesome. Right on. So when you finish the military, where do you want to go next? Where do you want to live? I mean, you can go anywhere now you want now, right? You're a big boy now. You can make your own decisions. You can go anywhere you want. Where's the ideal area? Where you wanted to go to, or are you just open to new ideas?
Yeah, well, my wife wants to go places that are warm.
Happy wife, happy life, right?
Of course. Um, so we've been to Texas and we kind of fell in love with Austin while we were there. But we're open to pursuing opportunities. She's also starting a new career,
Okay,
so we want to go to places that are going to offer us the most opportunities, and
sure.
hopefully doesn't get too cold. My wife's from Puerto Rico, so she doesn't do well.
So Denver, Colorado, is that not on your map?
You know what? My wife has always wanted to go to Colorado,
Oh,
because of like
sure.
Garden of the Gods. So
There we
I
go.
think
There we
I think we can
go.
work with it.
Okay, okay. So you plan on coming to Denver and you want to stay in the technology field? I feel pretty confident I can help you out and find some locations if you like. But so I live in Denver and I didn't know anything about this place till I moved here. I moved here and I didn't have any friends. I had one friend when I moved here, but that was just somebody I met on over a phone because she was a recruiter. And I actually got to know her in person. And she's freaking amazing. Her name is Ashley, and she's super awesome. She's also a Navy veteran, and that's probably why we got to know each other pretty well, as she was a recruiter. So we talked a little bit about what type of position you're looking for in a new job, but SkillBridge. Tell me about that. Tell me about the so me personally and my interaction with Army from the previous places I've been to that you and I talked about previously. Um, Sometimes they're not very helpful or assistive or supportive for somebody transitioning out because you know what, this guy's leaving us. I don't want to support him anymore. This guy is whatever. You know what? Forget this guy. Let's worry about our own. Worry about the guy staying in. Help the guys re-enlist. Yes, go Army, go Army. But you have a kind of a different take on that with your current command.
Yeah, so I think I'm kind of in a special unit right now. It's an extra volunteer organization. If I
Sure.
had a volunteer to be here, kind of thing. So I think that being said, because I've been working to recruit a replacement and train a replacement and work that, I was able to negotiate with my command early on um, about doing the skill bridge, and they've also been very supportive of just wanting the best for me
That's
outside of the
amazing.
military. Yeah, I think I've always contributed 100%, and now I feel like they're 100% on my side.
That's awesome. So essentially, you have found your replacement, you trained your replacement, and you basically worked yourself out of a job, right?
To this day, I'm still working.
Well, but I mean, essentially, you should when you leave to go to your skill bridge, there should really be a beat that was missed, right? It should be seamless transition. One day you're here, one day you're not, but your duties, your roles, your tasks, responsibilities, everything can be picked up as if you're still there then, right?
Yes, I think that's one of the biggest concerns of especially in the army when people leave is making sure that you cross train and the unit doesn't feel like they're gonna have any gaps. So I try to take care of that early on because I don't want to have an excuse to say no. So I thought of every excuse before and I executed and
That's awesome. You sound like you got some coaching in the process or you thought about it all on your own. That's some really good thinking. I really like that.
I think it all comes down to like long-term planning. I think a lot of times in the military, at least in my experience, I've got told no, and it's just how do I get you to say a yes? And then you
Oh,
start, over time, you evolve that thinking instead of saying, before they can say no, let me start doing a couple of things.
That's awesome. I love that thought process, and I'm not sure how often I actually try to implement that, but I know I always thought about that and try to figure out how can I get someone to say yes to me? What can I do? What type of things can I put in place, or how can I push things out there so someone knows, hey, look, now it's your opportunity to take care of me. I've done this for you. Hey, let's try to help me out here. Okay. I need a little help or something of that nature. So yeah, I fully got that one. So I don't remember exactly when we connected online or what all we've talked about. Unfortunately, I connected with a lot of people. And I don't remember every conversation. Do you remember any of our conversation or anything I may have told you? And hopefully I was nice.
So I know we met at a key event,
Okay.
and
Yeah, we'll do the
ever
domingos.
since,
Yep.
yes. And then ever since then, I've just been a long time follower of everything you post. I've been a lurker in the background. I've been quiet, but I saw you were doing this, and I was like, I have to jump on. This mission that you're doing, and I think it's phenomenal. And
Oh,
also,
thanks.
I'm still not 100% ready to transition. At least I don't feel like it. So, I need some advice as well.
Awesome. You know what? I still need advice. I've already retired and I'm still reaching out to people all the time for advice. I reach out to a good friend of mine named Eric Cunningham. Guys, I think it's amazing. He always has the answer every time I call him, no matter what it is, no matter what I'm frustrated about or what I need help with. I think he has the answers to everything. Like, man, I mean, he has the degree, he has a certification, he has the experience, he has the job knowledge. I'm like, man, I want to get like a half of your knowledge, and man, I feel like a rock star. Then all of a sudden, before I retired, I was really good friends with a guy named Michael Wagner. He goes by Wags. This guy's amazing. And he's not prior military. I think he's probably about 20 years older than me, actually.
Wow.
And he's amazing. He has
Yeah,
so much knowledge, and I think it's really important to just reach out to a lot of people and ask them questions, and ask people who are not military questions, because obviously they've been doing the job for X amount of years. They can probably teach you a few things like, hey, look, going for a job interview, don't say this. Do something like this kind of thing. So yeah, man.
for sure. I think I'm always gonna have a mentor, right? Because it's always you can never be perfect. I think you should always be growing. So
I think I'm all about maintaining humility and just being humble with things. And there's a lot of knowledge I don't have at all. I'm always asking people questions. Sometimes I ask some rhetorical, dumb questions just see if I get a rise out of them. Just because that's just what I like to do sometimes. Awesome. So we mentioned a few resources, but what resources or people or organizations has helped you so far in your transition to get to where you are, and or people you plan on trying to connect to or organizations plan on trying to get a hold of to help you with your transition?
yeah, so I think the first thing I ever found, as I started my transition roughly 9 months ago, is an organization called Operation Code.
Operation Code. Okay.
Operation Code, yeah. So Operation Code is was started by a former Army officer, and it is a community of veterans or people connected to the military or just people that support the military, um, of coders. And I found that because I had finished my bachelor's degree and I was looking like what's a good skill to learn, and I knew that coding, Python, and was something that I really wanted to learn. I did a little bit of it in college, and I was like, this is a phenomenal skill. So I ended up coming across Operation Code. And then Operation Code, I got a couple of mentors there.
I'll write that down right now.
Um,
You put out some really good info, actually, for me too.
I met some people, met some mentors there. I have there's Gary Kraus. He works at Microsoft. Former Navy.
Nice, nice. Little biased, but nice.
Yeah, Sophie, former military. Well, military spouse. You're always a military spouse, right? She's an engineer at Apple.
Wow.
Yeah, it's phenomenal talent. I mean, there's so much. I mean, and then the talent there is amazing, and the support. I found Veterati, and then on Veterati, I think within 2 months, I probably had like 15 calls.
Wow.
I just
That's awesome.
actively, because there's so much, right? Especially in tech. I think in tech there's so much, and I wanted to just learn and learn and learn and dive, and then everyone's like, on Veterati, like LinkedIn, big hitter. So got my LinkedIn. After looking at it, I hadn't looked at it in like a couple years. So I was like, okay, let me start fixing this up. Michael Quinn, he came up, followed his guides, the higher military, the cheat sheet, made my LinkedIn nice. Started doing a couple of searches, came across the key and LinkedIn Mill City.
Nice.
Participated in those events. Found out more about SkillBridge, Hiring Our Heroes. So I actually signed up for Hiring Our Heroes, the January to April cohort of 2022, because that's when I'll be eligible.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah. So I think as I found things, I just dove deep and wasn't afraid to ask questions. And I think that just led me to grow a lot and learn a lot and find out about other resources. So quick little cheat. I got to get this out there.
What's up?
Anyone that has a .mil address, look at Digital University. So the Air Force has a business account with Udemy. So if you have a .mil address, you might be able to sign up and get access to most of Udemy for free.
Udemy got some awesome training on there, and that's a lot of money savings as well.
Yes.
I mean, so sometimes they get the little flash sale, like $10 for a course, but I mean, still, that's $10 you don't have to spend on something. So yeah.
If you don't, so Udemy, usually if you open up your browser in incognito mode, you'll always get the sale.
Man, you're just dropping some mad info. I love this.
Hey, Udemy tracks that the sales by the cookies on your browser.
Oh no, I didn't know that.
Hey, for cybersecurity experts, gotta learn your cookies.
Incognito for everything now. Got it. Okay, go check. Awesome. You've been putting out a lot of info and essence of time. I got one more question for you, but before I get to my last question, do you have any questions for me? I've been asking you a lot of questions.
Yes, I think one thing that I feel that I struggle with is, and how do I express that as my leadership or project management skills in the military, because it's very unconventional.
Sure.
I know, like Lockheed Martin, you guys don't go shoot a bunch of guns.
But we do have a shooting range at the facility where I work at. We have a shooting range on Lockheed Martin lands owned by Lockheed Martin. This is true. It's at the Waterton facility.
That is awesome.
So, not the essence you said, but we do have a shooting range at our facility. And it's pretty awesome, actually. But most of these answers I know. That answer, I'm not sure how to answer you. Um, I do think that would be a really great question to ask on LinkedIn. And make sure you go and tag me on that question. And so I can reshare it for you and get a lot more exposure to your name and to that question. I know there's some people out there who probably have a whole lot better answer than I have for you with that question. You stumped me. You got me good. I don't know that answer, man.
All right, I got a second question.
Okay, there we go. So I can
All
redeem
right,
myself. All right, cool.
all right. This is also about communicating skills, but how do you communicate those skills that you don't have work experience with, but you've learned through a platform like Udemy? Or for example, like I just got my Azure certification, but don't really have much work experience working on Azure.
Sure. So what I would do, okay, I'll put a blurb on your resume. You have your own little VM set up. You have something set up. That's how you learned it. That's how you pass your certification, right? So put a little blurb on your resume saying, in my off time or my hobby, I also play around with Microsoft Azure. I've learned this, and this. Utilize it, get some of the key words out of the Azure training that you did that you may see on some requisitions. You want to make sure you have whatever knowledge right on. Maybe they want to make sure you have some programming knowledge. Maybe you learn some programming from LinkedIn Learning, and then you have some programming knowledge. You don't say you're an expert. You say you're familiar with. You have knowledge of. You have beginner experience in such and such a language. You're not lying. And I think that's really the essence of a resume. You don't lie on a resume. So anything you put on there, you can be asked. And I think if you're lying about something in your resume, it'll become really obvious to somebody else who's talking to you, such as a hiring manager, say, oh, this guy's full of crap. No, we don't want this guy. We can't trust what he says. I don't want him on my team. And bam, you may have shot yourself in the foot right there. So like me, for me personally, okay, I saw Linux is within a lot of IT jobs. You need to have Linux knowledge, right? So what did I do? Well, this is during the time when Windows 7 went away because it'll finally officially done. I waited till like the last month. I think it was like, I don't know, like September of 2019 or something like that. It was the last month of the year that has final support for, and after that, it has no more end of life support for most normal people, unless you're paying for like extended service, right? So I went ahead and I re-imaged one. So I guess I'm kind of like computer nerd. I got like 3 or 4 PCs at my house, and I load a bunch of OSs on there and reload them and load them and screw them up and reload them again, just because it's kind of fun. I don't know what it is, but I think it's kind of fun reloading OSs. Maybe I'm weird, but I went ahead and I got a hold of what was it, CentOS. Now loaded CentOS on top of my 1.7 PC. So then I had a CentOS PC. How am I going to learn Linux? I sat there, I was watching LinkedIn Learning on this one computer. I was over on the other computer watching LinkedIn Learning how to use CentOS. And I just type in commands, going through all the little lessons and training and trying to teach myself. So then I went ahead and put on my resume saying, I'm familiar with Linux. I didn't say I was an expert. I said, I'm familiar. I'm not lying. So, and then someone asks you, hey, what's your familiarity with Linux? Well, I went ahead and I reloaded my house computer with it. I felt like I needed more knowledge with it. And you just explain it, what you did and how you did it. I think that right there in itself is showing your own ambition to want to learn and want to train more. And if you're able to describe that on your resume, I think that's putting a little bit better of a story to what's on your resume.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I never thought of it that way.
I mean, I know that's what I did on my resume.
Yeah,
Somehow helped me get a job.
I'm always afraid that anything on my resume, I'm an expert in, right?
Oh, no, I mean, nobody's an expert in everything. So, yeah. Awesome. So, for my last question, we're running a little long, but it's okay. This is a really good conversation with some mad knowledge coming out during this info. What can I do to help you, if anything, for your last 10 months or after your 10 months left in the military? How can I help you if possible?
Yeah, I think one of the things that would help me is seeing those people that got out and are successful. I think right now I'm in that 10th month period, and I've been preparing for so long that I am at that point where I'm like scared because I can't take action, right? I can't. No job wants to interview me for a position because you got to fill the role now in a month, not in 10 months.
Yeah.
So I think I have that fear. So seeing people transition and just keep looking at that knowledge, I think that really helps me because it helps me stay confident. It helps me stay positive during the hardest time of my life.
Yeah. Yeah. And yeah, so yeah, I can easily do that. I think I share a lot of people's profiles, or I get tagged on a lot of things. I would say just keep following my hashtag, keep following the group I have set up for the Veterans Advice group going on. And I think a lot of these videos I've been recording, I think there's been some really good content being put out. I'm not trying to put my videos on a pedestal, which probably sound like I just did, but I think there's a lot you can learn from others as well. Because no one person has the exact solution how to fix everything. Everyone has their own little way of how they're going about doing something. Everyone starts to transition many different ways. I mean, we got Manny the other day who started transition 3 years out. Another guy I talked to, he said he started his transition 3 years out. Man, if I started my transition thought process 3 years out and got myself ready and set up, oh man, I'd be like king of the world. No, I'm just kidding, but but yeah, in essence of time, I don't want this video to run way too long, but I think it running pretty long this time. But and there's some really great content. I'm really happy we're able to hook up for a video, and you reached out and said, hey, how can I get on this video series? And bam, here you go. Now you're on the video series. Awesome. I'm really happy you had time this evening where you are, because it kind of looks like a barracks room, but it's okay. You're in the military. That's what we do, right? Sometimes you got to stay in the barracks sometimes. So thank you. Thank you for having time this evening. I really appreciate it.
No, thank you. I mean, I appreciate everything you do for all of us that are transitioning. And I appreciate you giving your advice, and 100% supportive of what you do. Hopefully I could join that network of successful people and push people my way in the future.
You know what? I got no problems tagging people's names on my posts, and because these are all the people I know that I've been able to do something or have some knowledge in the area. I think I'll probably tag Tyrone and Angel and Jeffrey on a lot of my posts, because man, those guys have a lot of knowledge on a lot of things in VA and military and transition, and there's a whole host of other people. There's a Mick Merritt out there, and man, everybody from the Key event. I think all those people are rock stars, and LinkedIn. I think there's just so many awesome people out there. I don't know if I name all the people because there's, well, first I got kind of bad memory, but anyway, so
yeah, there's so many programs. I mean, I don't even think I've mentioned everything that I'm planning on going through. Because I didn't even talk about Breakline. I don't know if you ever heard of them.
I haven't, but we can always do a part 2 of this video. And then we can come back and talk about some more of this great content, because man, you got a lot of resources, and I'd love to get all this information on a video so other people can learn from the same content that you have. So
yeah, would love to spread the knowledge. Just because I'm going through doesn't mean I can't share it. These places don't have just one veteran. Don't take just one veteran. They take many of us. So let's do it.
Well, hey, let's go and look forward to part 2, and we'll keep on talking about some of this more great content you got going on.
Sounds great.
All right, John. You have a good night, man.
You too.
All right, bye.